Hello and welcome to the Memory Arcade. Okay, so I mentioned a few times now that I would really like to do TMNT retrospective, because there is a very promising 2D side-scrolling brawler coming up called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Generic title, but you know, it looks really good, and this will just keep looping, huh? Yeah, it looks really good, and that's, you know, an excuse to play a whole bunch of Ninja Turtles games. It's a commonly thrown around phrase, you know, lifelong fan. But with the Turtles, it's really true. Like, I adored them ever since I first watched the original animated series, which in hindsight is not even that great. Yeah, that intro that tells us in no uncertain terms that Leonardo is wielding katana blades. So anyway, like I mentioned, big fan of the Turtles when I was a kid. I had this game on the NES before the Super Nintendo was even out, before Turtles in Time came out. It was just really, really good. And I wanted this game to be awesome. You know, like I would have wanted a Batman game or a Masters of the Universe game to be great. This game, not that great. And we'll talk about this. So for now, we are playing mostly unaltered original. Like, we're still playing in an emulator that is overclocking enabled and the sprite limit reduced, so we don't get that much flicker. So it looks like more like a Super Nintendo game than it does. I mean, it's also not the only Turtles game on NES. There were two more, and the other two were in the mold of the first arcade game, of which Turtles in Time was a direct sequel. And so they definitely took it from there. And if you think I'm actually kind of good at this, well, first of all, we just lost Leonardo, and that's the crux of the game. You lose a turtle, and then that turtle is gone. And there are ways to get a turtle back. Like in various levels, there will be little hideouts where the Foot Clan stashes prisoners. Oh my god! Rocksteady just... Oh, is that Bebop? How come I cannot tell them apart so many years in? Anyway, yeah, so this game is kinda loosely based on the original animated series, but also takes a lot of its aesthetic clues from the original comics, because the animated series hadn't been out for that long. Okay. Keep up and rock steady. 3 for 3. The pigs be up and the rhinos rock steady. Yeah. Okay. Did it with Donnie. Which isn't much of a surprise, because in their eternal wisdom, the developers decided to give the turtle with the longest reach also the most devastating weapon. Like, the bow staff is stronger than other stuff. Oh god. And also, by the way, aside from the pizza here, this house is completely pointless, but we had these kind of experiences in Xanadu aplenty. Yeah, I suppose that's not entirely faulty reasoning. Yeah, so this game has a few problems. It takes some aesthetic cues from the animated series that at the time everyone would have wanted, but also from the Mirage comics, which I guess most kids, myself included, didn't really know. Like, I had a few issues maybe a year or two later. Also love how we go in there for pizza to heal ourselves, and are just completely wrecked by the time we made it out. And so it's a bit of a mishmash, and also just has a whole bunch of enemy designs that are completely random or have nothing to do with either show. Also, I guess the Foot Clan has tanks. They're insta-kills. And we're game over. And a continue brings us to the beginning of the current level with vanilla turtles, but fuck all progress. Okay, so far an NES game. And yeah, it controls okay-ish, like some of the jumping and such actually feels exciting. Then there's just little bits where it feels stiff, or where the hitbox kinda fucks you. You can at any time switch between your turtles. And in this game, because of the balancing is completely skewed in favor of, I guess, Donnie is great, and Leo is not that bad. Raph and Mike, forget it. And that doesn't even take into account the infamous second level, the dam, the swimming section with a strict time limit and a whole bunch of really damaging and devastating hazards. But ROM hacking exists, and I showcased a few ROM hacks in the past. This time I wanted to show the original just for a little bit, so you get an impression of what they actually changed for the ROM hack. And I think we're done here. Oh. They actually, the whole this used to be a copyright screen, shows up very briefly, but it actually gives us backstory. So for those who have no idea who the Ninja Turtles are, called Hero Turtles in some territories, Germany included, because ninjas, you know, in the 80s, ooh, that was dangerous gang shit. Yeah. Anyway, 15 years ago, Hamato Yoshi saw 4 turtles in the sewer covered in strange ooze, changed into a rat named Splinter, and raised them. You know, like you do. Fuck all given for context. Now they fight Splinter's nemesis, Oroku Saki, also known as the Shredder. But the Shredder has a sinister plan and a dangerous new weapon. Oh wait, this didn't even show up. Anyway, you saw it. So, intro, kind of the same. They changed Katana Blade to Katana because it's a katana. Actually two, but... Also changed the spelling of Michelangelo, which a lot of versions of Turtles Media got wrong initially. Spelling it like Michael Angelo with the extra A. Yeah, this one's dubbed Return to New York. Not really connected to the really great Return to New York storyline. Like, if you ever read the Mirage comics, at least treat yourself to the first 3 collected volumes, like the big, chunky black and white books. Yeah, so you could also just walk here, but you really shouldn't. Also, I have rewind enabled. So what did they change? As you can see, a lot of the sprite coloring is different. The Mauser robots now look a lot more than they did on the show and then the comics. You know, because they're chrome. The portraits are a little differentiated. Let's go with it for a while. And they've actually rebalanced the turtles. Mikey has the best jump. Because in the comics he usually has a very natural aptitude towards athleticism and speed. As in, he gets shit. His skills are not very refined, but very just pure talent. And these guys now look a lot more than the regular ninjas of the Foot Clan. In comparison, they nerfed Donnie. Donnie is no longer as strong. Also, can't jump that high anymore. So they also changed the green to correspond to, you know, the shades of green they usually have, with Leo a very vanilla, Donnie going in a vaguely olive direction. Yeah, and naturally our fearless leader, Leonardo, is very much... Oh, get some ninja stars. Now, those of you familiar with Turtles Media know who the rowdy one is. That would be Raph. As you saw, they didn't change the animations, so his eyes are not exactly daggers, they're more like self-defense weapons. They're supposed to catch blades and divert them, maybe break them. kind of like a mail breaker that you would get in a Souls game. Yeah. Naturally, he's the strongest. In a it's not even funny kind of way. And yeah, this is already really cool because it not only does it feel like a closer adaptation to the source material. Sure, you can make this jump like so. Ah. Bone main goat. Oh, just most people heard of the main goat. Yeah. I'm personally not familiar, but oh. And now even the weird chainsaw guys look like a muscle-bound foot ninja with a chainsaw, because, yeah. Still a little weird in the context of Ninja Turtles. So, I mean, oh shit. Don't know. Oh. That was pretty baller. No. I mean, it makes sense. It is effectively parrying dagger. If you pay attention in, I guess, Turtles media, where the sides are detailed enough, the tips are not even pointy. At least not in an absolutely stabby kind of way. Well, we lost Donnie, and we're gonna take that L. The level is not for much longer. And I guess Donnie could have really used that pizza. It. I wanted to make use of his shuriken. Wait. Oh. Well, we'll leave it to Michelangelo to find the infinite pizza trick. Bummer about the two other turtles. So what I'm planning to do is, at the beginning of the next level, I'm just gonna take a continue, because I believe those are infinite in this game. And then get the gang back. Clarity. What's the point of shuriken that are just really, really slow? Not slow, but, you know, weak. Yeah. So I'm not sure if there's... Let's see what monkeys... I would like to hold on to us an ultimate turtle for a little longer. Gets run over by Utrom. Rude. Ah, lovely. Yeah. So this is also a... not even sure... Nah, bro, I wouldn't call it an early Konami game, although I actually don't know when they started out. Konami had the license for a long time, and they made some pretty good games with it. Konami is kinda in the toilet, but in terms of, you know, reputation. These are old-ass games that they're not, I was about to say, no, they're not even re-releasing. No, I think they're doing a re-release of these. Probably with the same motive as I did, as in there's a new Turtles game coming out. It's not made by them, but, you know, why not? Why not have that coincide? Konami themselves, I mean, I keep making the joke, hey, remember when Konami made games? Yeah, I think the last video game they made was just a really, really sad version of the soccer series. And other than that, it's just full-on pachinko in Japan. There are persistent rumors that allegedly, I guess I have to say it like that, the company has long been subverted by Yakuza, and they're just milking the company for everything in a kind of, you know, everything must go kind of way. Let's take an L here. Wow, he is robust, isn't he? There we go. Well, like I said, I had this game as a kid, but as a kid I never made it past level 3. Because I would sometimes defeat this stage, the dam, and then I would usually be just completely lost in the next level. Yeah, I mean, there is a fan game that I plan on covering, called Rescue Palooza, and it's kind of a what-if sequel to the third NES game, Manhattan Project, And it has 16-bit graphics. But more in the vein of the first arcade game and the second and third NES games. So, and there's a couple of levels that pay homage to this game by being fully side-scroller rather than having a Z-axis. And I briefly, streamed that one some time ago. I still have to figure out how to enable infinite lives in that one. The number not go down? Oh! You actually get them back realistically. That's the company that made Castlevania. Why would they? I mean, this may be part of the ROM hack. I have no idea. But, boomerangs that actually don't drain their... Ah, come on. And yeah, it's just as frustrating as you might imagine, not making that jump a couple times without a rewind function. Okay, now the infamous part, and this one's already... Like, we're gonna cheat. We're gonna cheat the hell out of this. I have it. First of all, the swimming is really Latin. Like, you have to press jump with a certain amount of speed to even get any traction. Or you enable map a turbo function to one of your controllers in an emulator. Like so. And add a cheat that completely completely disarms the timer. Now these things still hurt us, but the infamous seaweed won't. And with that, this stage, which, I don't know, completely demolishes this game in my opinion. Because it's so poorly balanced. That seaweed, if you get too close, it's instant death. These are really hard to outswim if you don't have a turbo function. And these things hurt like a motherfucker if you don't have that other cheat enabled. And if you think, oh, well, yeah, but so far the level design is kind of reasonable. You even have multiple pathways to choose from. So far, I wouldn't disagree. Like, this was just sloppy timing on my part. But also remember, you don't have much time to get anything done here. And then you get to this screen, and you're just like, completely fucked. Like, you can maneuver through this with little damage. There are also currents in this game. Just like weirdly random, not visually telegraphed water currents. Oh, 2 bombs are left. So this is normally the last one. But if you didn't find it, you're basically fucked, because going through this twice with the timer... Like, it's not even just find a bomb or find 3 bombs in 3 locations that would make sense. Now... Okay, this one is kinda on me. But they get to strike a pose. And luckily they don't run out of air, or maybe that was the timer, I don't know. I still think the intro theme is an absolute banger. This is Shredder. Listen well, turtles. We have taken the rat. To get him back, you must defeat the Foot Clan. I mean, wasn't that what we were waiting for you? We have to save Splinter. I like the conceit of the fan game, Rescue Palooza. It's named that way because Shredder comes on TV, as he does. And he's just like, this time I kidnapped everyone. Now, we have a van. The van has a gun. But is not immune to damage? Just really unwieldy? Oh shit. Let's get Donnie in here. What do you mean it can take more than 2 hits? So getting those rockets up there is actually not optional. Oh. Wrong lever, Kronk. Oh, Hubris and... oh god, so many sprites. Oh. Neat. Yeah, no, I'm also almost in uncharted territory here. Also not dropping down here. Hi, Succulent Club, how are you? Yeah, it's all sorts of weird. The fire enemies. Also, this one, I think this one occupied like 2 minutes on an episode of the Angry Video Game Nerd, where he's like, "Hey, how do you jump this? How do you jump this?" And the famous answer is, "You don't. You just walk." Jesus. Game, please. Just gotta get out. Just gotta get right out of here. I'm good. I'm enjoying this upgraded and cheat-infused version of a game I tried to love as a kid. And I guess we're now in the financial district of New York. Blowing up street barricades. Erected by ninjas. Hopefully ninjas. I mean, maybe the cops and the game just never told us. Yeah, keep respawning. I'm totally fine with that. Huh. Oh, that's what they mean by ninjas blending into their surroundings. Also, I still love that the origin of the turtles, not in universe, but creatively, was that what if a turtle, but it's also a ninja? Oh, we're home. That's just mean. I mean, can Donnie just stab it to make it? No. Ah, classic problem of the amphibian who cannot swim. Got a rope. I think ropes are pretty important in this game. Ah, they're also universally equipped. Not sure if that's a ROM hack thing. I guess that's a dart gun, throwing stick. Angry message. Eh. Okay, it's just magic. That works. No, we lost Raph. Do we take that out? Yeah, let's be bold. We have the rope, right? Yeah. I think we need that. Goodbye, trusty vehicle. Huh. Oh! We actually get to rescue one. Let's have a pizza for our fearless leader. Do I just walk over it, or... Really? What? Like, I think that's what the rope is for. How do you use it? Oh. That's something you approach from the other side of... like, there's an adjacent building. A bunch of barricades over here. Right now, I think playing as Leo. Point of order. Raph is driving. Is he also... Yeah, he's also, I guess, harder to approach. I mean, Raph would be the kind of guy who would slap a "How's my driving" sticker back on the back of the turtle van in a very snarky kind of way. It. Okay. It's a shame that the dam basically gates off this later portion of the experience, because this level, the way you're just hopping around the city on the turtle and in an almost, dare say, open world kind of way, and occasionally go down into the sewers, because no place like home, right? Like, if the fucking second level just wasn't there, this would feel like such a smooth and nice difficulty curve. Also, dude, where's my car? Oh, nice. It keeps track of... Ew. Destroyed barriers. Did you guys... Okay. Back to Road Rage Wrath. I have no idea where I am or where I should be going. Yes, the center of the map doesn't look too bad. At least they give you a map. But what if I say please? Would it work then? No? Last one was just out of spite. I think we're getting somewhere. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh. Oh yeah, this looks like a winner. Yeah. The writing, that one was on the wall. Okay, I'm gonna call bullshit on that hitbox. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Should reassign those buttons. That's just sad. In the sewers and there's no pizza. That was some bullshit. I mean, I also don't want to restart the entire level, so that's why I'm rewinding a bunch. But we're almost at the end of the rope. Eh. Hmm. Okay. Let's play this smart. Transfer a bunch of boomerangs to a tank. Don't drown him. Don't feed the trolls. Really? Also a complete no iframes kind of situation. The double whammy on this. It's just sad. Like a ballet of infinite ways to fail. I should have given it to Raph, but what the hell. I like the way the turtles control in this. Unlike Castlevania, you have so much control over them in the air, but it's also very floaty. It's difficult to gauge where you're gonna land. Especially in this ROM hack, and that's not a fault of the original developer, but you know, in this ROM hack everyone has different jumping powers, so... Jesus. The insult. The fucking insult. Okay. Really? There's infinite maximum pizza and Mikey's not in the group. That's so sad. For several reasons. Just noticed that once these little balloon drones have deployed their Halo, they just keep floating back and forth. No purpose left in their lives. And I want this to be the future. I want Amazon delivery drones to work exactly like that. They bring over the package and then they just roam aimlessly through the skies. Confused, lost. At some point, forming flock. I mean, hopefully also that, but yeah, preach. I guess technically every co-op is also unionized. Who's left who's really good at jumping? Yeah, Leo. I always really liked the sound they make when they land. Like this little metallic click. To me it always felt that they were just kitted with their regular weapons, with all kinds of shurikens they would have. An evil turtle. And it's kicking my ass. Guessing this is supposed to be like a mecha turtle or however many things like variations there were. So one thing that is definitely inspired by the original comics. Wait, sorry, Splinter, what did you say? Massive chase, get to the blimp, hurry. My sense, okay. Next level, it was, I think JFK. Oh, is the Finnish media well in the pockets of the house that Bezos built? I mean, sure, the robot is bad, but this guy, he just really wants you to know about the Russian folk dance class he's taking. And he's training with the boomerang. Wow, he went to community college and just took everything that looked interesting. Also, they could have had the no. They could have had the goddamn courtesy of dropping a big pizza at the beginning of every level. Oh, the enemies are randomized. And random enemies are now also the Red King. Not sure why I'm doing this as Leo rather than Disco. Rather than How's everyone doing? Raph still needs to pick me up. That one was for Raph, right? Never mind. Get it back. But this also means that you can kind of re-roll on the enemy mix, right? Does it depend on who you pick? Weird. I mean, I wouldn't blame anybody for just on the face of it finding Amazon appealing. There is a level of convenience there that is plus, you know, the other plus the ever merciless march of capitalism also means that in the long run everyone just has less in their pockets, so yeah, but probably a fairly big selection, right? Yeah, yeah. And I've been guilty of that myself. Like, I try to hold myself to a... Okay. He did that by himself. I like how they gave us 3 ropes, and that was just the pretense, or the to play that cool animation 3 times, which, okay, someone worked really hard on that animation, I get it. God, it just sucks so bad. Come on, Leo, you're up. Oh no, no, no. Not going through that entire shit again. I know you meant to write sparsely, but for some reason parsley just invokes an amusing image. What is up with that boomerang? I feel it hits way harder than it has any right to. I mean, our boy is really all that, but still. Huh. I like that the Red King disintegrates into white rats riding on black rats. Like, the color... Sociologically, it's troubling, but just the detail of rats riding on rats. That one's really cute. Okay. What do these magnets even do? Eh. Ah, yes. The well-known random bomber attacks on JFK Airport. I will say this level seems manageable in certain respects. Certainly going easy on the bottomless pits. Still haven't figured out the magnets. Like maybe there's a slight pull. Oh, please. Place looks important. Gets run over by a 747. Hey, Mikey. How's it hanging? Oh, that fire does not look safe. Wait, what? What? I think I was just stuck in there? Like half of that time was me rewinding, but weird. 15, 12, and a pizza. Else hungry? Nah, we don't play that way. One thing about the turtles that still kinda shocks me to this day. Oh, the level actually continues from here. Is how much the first movie holds up. Like, it has its silly moments, but like, it's intentionally silly moments and some that maybe weren't quite as intentional. Still, it holds up shockingly well. And I guess it was an indie movie at the time, and then for its time became the highest grossing indie movie, so there's some accolades there. And I guess if you have the Jim Henson Workshop in your corner, you'll probably be okay in terms of creature effects. So I have no idea what, like, I'm not losing health in the fire. Maybe that's a side effect of the anti-seaweed cheat. But I also can't move. So there's that. It's 15 here. I guess that may be the highest number we've encountered so far. I do this with Donnie. Yeah, I mean, it's Fiery Pit usually is pretty definitive in a video game. Okay, I'm gonna switch to Donatello. this tiny jump, then I'm gonna switch back to Mikey, make the difficult jump. That's fucking teamwork. $16 looks good. Oh dear. Does the, I wanna call it like the Super Turtle power-up come back? It does. Thing a growing boy needs. And I guess everything a growing boy needs is more pizza, which, you know, relatable. $17. Yeah. Nah. Oh, it's a trap. It's a hideous trap. Yeah, no, nobody's getting that pizza. It's a big old Mauser. With lasers. I mean, yeah. Of course it would have lasers. Mikey is actually not the worst choice here, due to the really good maneuverability. Let's switch to Donnie. I low-key hate boss fights where you have to kill the ads after the main, and there's still a chance for you to fail. The footage queue is in Port Morris. Be careful. Oh. Gee, they were so hard to find. Why do I still remember that this particular robot is called Roadkill Rodney? Maybe I should take a continue. But then again, I may also still find pizza, so... This place has absolutely nothing. I mean, maybe it has a turtle. I mean, for a Japanese dude in a samurai armor, I think Ankler is just about as coherent as Shredder. Yeah, let's take the L. What am I gonna do with 40 shuriken? We found 10 uses for 40 shuriken. Number 6 might surprise you. Thing with the Foot Clan, I mean, it seems very random, and you might notice, they really just called that because the creators of Turtles, Eastman and Laird, were just really big fans of Daredevil comics, where there's a ninja clan called the Hand. Just like, wait, is this entire level just playing hide and seek with Shredder? Ugh. Maybe it's a case of extremely lowered expectations, but I got some enjoyment out of the second Michael Bay produced Turtles film. But the Turtles still looked atrocious in comparison, but it had some moments that were very true to character. And they got Krang right. Like, Krang was just off-putting. And I appreciate that. There was also a moment where, like, in that movie, Bebop and Rocksteady make their debut in that version of the story. And the Turtles had never seen other mutants up to that point. And the first time they meet Bebop and Rocksteady, Mikey just lets out the most bemused laugh. Like, he seems genuinely happy to encounter others of their kind, so to speak. And it's just very endearing. Like, he sees Bebop and Rocksteady and he's like, huh. The second Teenage Mutant Ninja live-action movie of the most recent franchise. The one where the turtles just don't look great. The ones produced by Michael Bay. Who's also a very hit-and-miss filmmaker. But I guess we'll take another loss here. But I'm really looking forward to Ambulance's latest feature, because it seems like the kind of movie. Yeah, they made another one. Yeah. Oh wow, 2016. That was a long time ago. Yeah. That's the second one, like, it's still not like super great. I think wait, what? I think we have a problem. Which is to say, we're down to a last turtle, and apparently there are no more continues. Aw. You know what, that's okay. I'll just... I mean, I should take a break. Been going for 90 minutes. By the way, this is not gonna be like a 3-hour stream. I'm planning to finish the game, and then next time do the arcade game. The original one. And then we'll move on to Turtles in Time, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I'll take a break. I'll drop a save state, and then I'll just find a cheat that enables infinite continues. Because, yeah, no. Yeah, it was also, I mean, the first one was kind of drag, so why would you pay attention? And I just kind of watched it out of boredom. And I had zero expectations and ended up pleasantly surprised by a couple of things in it. Like, I imagine the seconds... It was a little like watching the first Sonic movie. Like, being not very into it to begin with, and then being like, oh, okay, a couple of scenes were really nice. And I imagine watching the second Sonic movie is just gonna be that, maybe better by some margin. Anyway, I'm gonna try and figure out our little continue problem, and I'll be back. Everyone, get up, refill your water, stretch, practice some self-care, and I'll see you in a minute. with a full crew in that final level. Also, apparently some of the warehouses are accessible, which good to know. That's just strange. Maybe there would have been a captured turtle? This place reminds me of Ocarina of Time. Jesus. Cut content. For this one, I honestly don't know. Oh, no, this actually seems like a hint. Okay, so I don't know if Shredder's position is like randomized, but we were on the... Oh, we actually have to engage with the Technodrome. I mean, of course, but... The giant piano in Dawn of Sorrow. I played Dawn of Sorrow on stream. I'd be damned if I remember a piano situation. Also foot ninjas with extra limbs on their backs. There was an action figure like that. I have no further context, but totally a thing. That's just mean. Oh! All the turtles are special little birthday boys today. I mean, they should have just called some kind of Turtles media beyond Technodrome. Like maybe they did that with the animated series. Come on. Oh, one of the now 4 animated series? Question mark? I mean, the original one, everybody... No, not doing that again. The original series, anyone has at least an awareness of. I really like the 2003 one. I'm just being picky. Actually, oh, this is fine. Because it's very in many ways, like it has one major twist that no other show did. But that's just rude. But other than that, it's very close to the original Mirage comics and just gets the personalities of everyone right, and it's decently animated. You can really see, like, it started airing in 2003, and you could really see that everyone production was like, yeah, Batman animated series. That's like, it looks a lot cleaner than that, but that's kind of where they wanted to go with this. Can you jump off of this? I guess not. Yeah, now it's good. With any luck, you'll find a version where they cut out the intro, because the intro song is a lot. And the cutaways to commercials always had little screens or brief animations. How are you supposed to... Never mind. Now that we've completely ruined Raphael, yeah, and all the commercial cutaways have a little will have a little jingle from that theme song, and at some point it just becomes something you wanna actively remove from the whole thing, because it feels a lot more obnoxious than anything on the show, actually. But other than that, it's good fun. Like the first few seasons, like they made a bunch of them, rebranded the show, maybe a couple of times. Let's not lose him here. But I would say the first 3 seasons, everything up to the 2-parter called Exodus, is just really good. Like that 2-parter is where, I'll say this much, that's where most of the Shredder stuff wraps up, and it wraps up in a really cool, big feeling moment. And yeah, there's just a lot of really ingenious moments. Like at some point they get whisked away to some kind of intergalactic or interdimensional even tournament. They meet Usagi Shojimbo because of course, and it's a fighting tournament. Like you're I think it's called Battle Nexus or something. Very, very video gamey, and I think all 4 of them compete, and Raphael gets just really, really mad when Michelangelo does incredibly well. Like, and it's like it's not like I mentioned, his natural aptitude. never has to work for his skills, along with a big chunk of luck, and it drives him up the wall, and it's glorious. There's also a very beautiful tribute episode to Jack Kirby in there, which is taken straight from the comics, and that just really captures a lot of the stylistic elements often found in Kirby comics. Yeah, I have a lot of fondness for that one. And the CG animated series that they launched in, I want to say 2012? After Nickelodeon had acquired the franchise. Or Viacom, and then that was put under the Nickelodeon brand. I was skeptical at first. 3D animated TV is very hit or miss. But they managed to make a pretty decent show. It ended up immediately killing one of my turtles. Yeah, we're gonna take a continue here. And if we make it to a pizza, all the better. Yeah, no, we're not. Yeah, so what 2012 did really well was, in my opinion, lighting and atmosphere. And like they really knew how to work around the fact that they had a very TV 3D animation early 2010s, and they made up for it in style. Had some really solid writing on the show. The turtle characterizations were a little more, I don't want to say extreme, that sounds very extreme, but they really leaned into like Donnie being this hopeless geek, not making them one note, but making sure that what their personalities are. And Michelangelo, Mikey got weird. Like he became he became became sometimes cartoonishly silly and weird. And I mean, it's an animated series for kids, but to the point where it seemed almost surreal. But then you also had these moments where he's like trapped in Dimension X for a while, and pardon the term, he goes native. As in, at some point he has like a the Krang are like a hive culture in that, so there's multiples of them. And at some point he just has like, I think, a bunch of Krang skins, which is kind of disturbing, for a hat, and just intuitively knows shit about Dimension X and its weird properties. And you're just like, whoa, this is getting weird. And if you think the show got weird before, at some point you get to the episode that is just a straight up homage to John Carpenter's The Thing. for kids. Not really for kids. Like, I think it's supposed to be like a Halloween episode, and it's just, whoa. I've been down this tunnel a couple of times now, but this really... I'm supposed to go down there, if anything. Yeah, so the 2012 CG animated one. Also not a bad choice. The most recent traditionally animated one I haven't watched. It seemed to hew for an even younger audience than the CG one. It also launched really quickly after the CG one wrapped up, and I'm always a little hesitant when it's really just like, yeah, we gotta milk that franchise. We gotta have something on the air. But I don't know, maybe they did a good job. I'm just glad that ever since, certainly since the 2012 show, the Turtles are just kind of back in terms of kids merchandise that is kind of ubiquitous everywhere around. And because for a while they had kind of vanished, and sure, not every media franchise has the kind of staying power. Like Mickey Mouse has kind of vanished from, I don't know, toy shelves and its fashion and whatnot, which is super surreal considering how powerful Disney still is. Wait, that pizza doesn't spawn if you don't need it? Oh wait, no. Pizza only spawns if you leave the mini dungeon entirely for the map. Come on, guys. Be a little methodical there. These guys hurt like a motherfucker. Could we... Yeah, I mean, you mentioned before, it started as a joke, just the idea that an inherently very slow creature could be like this lightning fast ninja, but also they're teenagers, very explicitly so, and they have varied personalities. They have this wonderful found family dynamic with Splinter, April, and Casey. And shows that have Casey. And like I recently just took a gander at one of an issue of the current IDW comic series that has also been running for just a cool 10 years now. And it was an episode where I think they had just lost... I think maybe Splinter may have passed or something, but there were like several characters I didn't even know, and the whole episode was just very, I mean the whole issue of that comic was just a little somber, but definitely also the celebration of that found family aspect, and just really, really beautiful. Yeah. And also, like the 2012 CG show, in my opinion, didn't nail Shredder just quite the way the previous show did. But he's still a really good villain. Like, he's dirt simple, he's just a fucking bastard. There's very little redeeming about him. But he works. He has a cool-ass design, he's menacing, he usually outclasses the turtles in terms of skill. In a big way. Yeah, like, there's just something there that is appealing, and a lot of the supporting cast had that. And I guess there was also this tendency among designers in the 80s to just go ham with you know, toy line iterations. Like the Ghostbusters toy line was just freaky by design, and just a lot of the mutant designs in the TMNT toy line and show was also just kind of messed up here and there. Just a little bit here and there where you're like, oh, that's maybe a little scary, you know, for kids' property, but they made it work. Big shit like the Mutagen Man, that is just really a guy in a containment suit whose body is mostly ooze, and a brain and eyes floating in that shit. I think I'm gonna hold out until the next continue, and then I'm just gonna straight up look up where we might have to go. Yeah, you can have your favorites, and if they are richly characterized, your favorites may even change, or you may end up liking all of them. Like, as a kid, I was a big fan of Leo because he was a fearless leader with 2 katanas. What's not to like? Or Donnie because he was like had this technical aptitude. These days, I'm firmly Camp Mikey, especially in the one in the shows where he's just a little weird. In the 2012 CG show, he has a cat that is made out of ice cream. It was an accident. It lives in Ice Cream Kitty lives in the freezer, and he cares very well for it. They actually, like the current IDW comic book series, I think introduced, yeah, Ice Cream Kitty. Google it. It's precious. Yeah, damn. I think the current comic book series reintroduced the girl turtle. But I think she got a new name, and also probably, like, the storytelling in that book is pretty good, so Okay. I'm looking up a guide. Why are all these guides on YouTube? Oh. Strategy wiki to the rescue. Oh, we're actually not in the final level yet. That's interesting. Oh, you have to go through all 3 tunnels, and it's random. Okay, so I'm guessing it's rolling the dice whenever we get a continue, which is why we've just been running around not finding the Technodrome. Meaning, I'm just gonna be an ass. I just dropped the save state. Gonna make our way to the thing. And if the thing doesn't show up, I'm just gonna bamf back. There we go. 1 down. This is unrelated to turtles, but I've been on a bit of a comic book kick lately. And a comic that surprised me tremendously by just how out of the park good it is was Immortal Hulk. Like I had already heard that it's really well done, but it was really the kind of shit where you're like, whoa, this comic goes hard, and yeah, no, it's fantastic. Like they asked the question, yeah, what if Hulk, but also really, really out there body horror and themes of religion that don't feel phony and put on, for the most part. And also, Bruce Banner is an anti-capitalist, I guess, from the perspective of the establishment, terrorist now. But it's very much framed that he has a point. Huh. Look what we found. It's... oh, it's big. And it's spitting ninjas. Like you do. Wait. The thing also has a... oh no, it's this asshole. Wait, what? What hit me here? Go on out for poorly defined hitboxes, which I like how they have like a ninja launcher there, like a t-shirt cannon. Oh yeah, no, that Technodrome has been out partying. Guys, you cannot add a hitbox to an enemy that... to an enemy's weak point like that. And one that does not a not insignificant amount of damage. Jesus. I'm a little done with this level, to be completely honest. What? The launcher is also reactive? Like, that's some bullshit. A lot of these things should just be background elements. I was free to jump back and forth in front of the giant Mauser, so show some consistency, please. It is a really cool, really well rendered boss for an NES game, I will say this. Also, the Technodrome is a TARDIS in this one. This is it. Go get that jerk shredder. Yes, he sure is a jerk. That motherfucker. Who fights next? Yeah, sure, Sensei. No, let's do this properly. So for the original animated series, all the foot ninjas were actually robots. Because, you know, 80s and kids show and all that. And it was really impressive how these two katana blades could just cut through solid steel. All the time and wouldn't break. Oh shit, it's the Foot Elite. They're from the comics. They're badass. The 2003 animated series sometimes feels a little bit like Dragon Ball, because there will be situations with enemies where the turtles are just hopelessly outmatched. Like, say, against the Foot Elite. Or the Foot Mystics, I forget what they are called specifically. Oh my god. That's just low. And then they show up later and they got it on lock, of course. Because they've been training, they've had more experience, and I guess leveled up a bunch. Like, it's not fully video game logic, but you know. A little bit Dragon Ball-ish. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. And I guess the implication is also that they are very, very much mass-produced. I think Donnie was a solid choice here. Wait, what? That was a lot of health. Just because they have jetpacks and lasers. Yeah, I mean, with Raph, at least in more recent incarnation, I would just say he just does it with, you know, sheer brute force. I wonder how checkpoints work in this one. All the way back to the beginning? Are you fucking kidding me? And there's no way to dodge these. Okay, I guess we're starting the level over. There was was a CG animated movie that served as a direct sequel to the original live-action movies. And the main plot and villain is kind of feels very inconsequential, as in, yeah, that also happened. But the whole Leo versus Raph subplot, I mean, it's not even a subplot, I would argue it's the heart of the movie. It's just very well done. Like, they come to blows over very, well, their very different personalities and ideas about leadership, etc., etc., and it's heartbreaking. Just how violent it gets. But yeah, it's also probably my favorite depiction of Raphael. Because it really nails the perpetually angry dude. But you can also kind of see where it's coming from. Come on. These fucking guys. Shit. Let me just go back on that. Because we could really use that. Yes, this is where we just damage boost through a bunch of shit. Swear to God, if there's not a pizza coming up at some point soon. Thing is, I can't really afford to die at all, because it will just land me back at the very beginning of the level. This fucking corridor again. Yeah, at least that one did remain destroyed. That was nice. The way they just drop you here without any means to avoid damage is pretty darn brutal. Okay, I think we're coming up on the bad place. So let's try and get there with Leo and then have Raph just muscle through the very narrow area. Maybe not quite yet. Oh, is he already half gone? Come on. This place. This fucking place. Apologize for the excessive rewind, but... Oh, that's great. That's amazing. There are no iframes here, by the way. It's just... it's all tears. Yeah, yeah. Like, this area is... I won't say it's impossible, but... it can go to fucking hell. Pizza, pizza, pizza. Oh, okay. Get fucked. Oh. Well, look who it is. Look who hasn't taken any damage yet from 3 or 4. And he has an instant hit demutation gun. Like an instant kill. No, no. You motherfuckers. Jesus fucking Christ. Like nothing. I'm gonna take another break and get another cheat code. Because I'm not doing this without full health. Be right back. Oh, thank you. Those are very good capybaras. These 4 turtles are now basically indestructible. Except for the gun. Which is a shame. I kind of I wouldn't mind seeing how much damage Shredder dishes out with his regular attacks. And the effect is kind of cute, right? If they had just given us a checkpoint. Before the big man. Oh god. I guess we brought the napalm swords. And that's TMNT. You have defeated the Shredder. With a weapon, I can turn back to human form. My sons, you all have exceeded my skills. Oh, Splinter's human again. You guys are great. You saved New York. Let's celebrate with a pizza. Yeah. The adventure of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is concluded. Okay, franchise over. That was a very short retrospective. Ah, and it just goes back to that. Yeah. So this game has some problems, and I think we all saw that. I like this ROM hack though. I'm gonna look it up real quick. I think differentiating the totals in terms of damage and jumping ability is a really good call. The sprites that hew closer to the original material are nice, make some of the enemy designs less random. And I imagine they also changed a bunch of the text. May I just say that I always found, like, there are different origins for Splinter. Sometimes he was the Hamato Yoshi's pet rat. Sometimes he is the guy himself and was turned into rat with mutagen, because at some point the mutagen could just do anything, really. And I always disliked the idea of like there being like, it's maybe very selfish from the perspective of a kid who likes the franchise, but the idea that Hamato Yoshi at some point would turn human again, and this would kind of in some way be the logical endpoint of this story. Yeah, never really liked it. And honestly, Splinter, who has always been a rat, is also just kind of a cooler character. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they got a ton of mileage out of that last thing you touched. Caveat, in terms of episodes. I mean, the original series lasted how long? 8 seasons? 10? And at some point, they didn't even have Shredder or Krang anymore. Yeah, no, they like, mutagen was always a fun plot device. But the whole thing about, oh, we have to turn Splinter back to human form, which, of course, that's what you would probably want to do if that was his origin, but it always kind of feels like, yeah, it's gonna become of the turtles then, or, well, he's still gonna live in the sewers, or commute, or whatever. Like, to me, it always kind of puts the whole found family thing a little bit into question, if that makes sense. Even though it really shouldn't. I don't know, it's weird. Not my favorite origin of it. The current IDW show is just strange in that regard. They start out as a rat and 4 little turtles, but they're also reincarnations of Hamato Yoshi and his 4 human sons, who were murdered in feudal Japan by the Shredder, who's also immortal. This new twist was almost reason enough for me to be like, okay, they're going in a really weird direction. Yeah, it's that kind of shit where you're like, oh, there's scenes of Hamato Yoshi as a like a still member of a ninja clan or a samurai in feudal Japan, and he has 4 kids, and they all have different colored clothing, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, it felt like they jumped the shark real early. And that's not even jumping the shark the way the comics did it when they brought Shredder back from the dead as a shark mutant. Which, admittedly, made a lot of sense, you know. Imagine a bipedal shark wearing the Shredder armor. It's just teeth and blades everywhere. Oh, serious drama. Like it's horrifying when like Shredder makes Yoshi watch his kids getting killed, and then the lab rat, and the turtles just come into contact with the mutagen, and somehow this triggers this reincarnation, where mostly Splinter has the most complete memories of his human life way back when. But the turtles also just have very vague memories of their mother, who didn't come back. Because I guess they didn't have a spare rat. I don't know. So this felt really weird and over the top and just strange for strangeness sake. And I've never read it far enough to know where that, if that gets explained at some point. But beyond that really strange, for strangeness sake maybe, origin, they still nail the characters. Like, they are still the turtles, and Shredder is still an asshole, and Karai is still there and kind of semi-honorable, and they have a long-standing beef with a cat, like a cat mutant, who's a real bastard, like a one-eyed street cat. And it's still, you know, the series is good, and I've been meaning to start reading it all over again. But yeah, the origin is just, real head tilting. Oh, Splinter raised the turtles for revenge. Yeah, I mean, the first issue of the original comics is very self-contained. Like, Shredder dies at the end of the first issue. It was really just a very indie comic. They made it. It had like, 30, 50 pages, and printed, got some copies printed, and sold it, and it caught on. Yeah, but the idea that he would just raise 4 teenagers just as his private army because he really, really wants to get the motherfucker who killed his master, or his owner when he was a pet rat. It's really grim, uncharacteristically so. Like, Splinter can be a hard ass, but I very much prefer the versions where he is also explicitly a father figure, also turtles his sons, and yeah. But I think you can do both. Like, him maybe harboring a level of revenge, but also just really going to appreciate his adopted sons. Anyway, my throat is getting a little hoarse, and we're coming up on 3 hours after all. Thank you for watching. I will be back maybe as early as tomorrow or on Wednesday. And we're gonna be playing the original arcade game. And if there's a little time after we get through that, we're gonna take a look at the NES adaptation of that, which was named Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, to differentiate it from this one. Yeah. Them being the reincarnated versions of little murdered children, like they weren't even that old in the flashbacks. It's just upsetting. Yeah. I mean, they still have to learn to hate him or oppose him, because their memories are very vague. So, kind of, But I would still recommend checking out the IDW series, like the first few issues, and just the art is good, and the character writing, the character voices, so to speak, feel very much on point, and it's interesting. Also, Krang is there. So there's that. General Krang. Also, it's a whole different can of worms, but yeah. Anyway, take care, everyone. I'm just gonna end on Linst self-promotion of here's my links to the YouTube archive, to my socials, to the tip jar over on Ko-fi.com, and yeah, take care, everyone. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.